Oh, yeah, that's right. Bring it A-Game Radio, CIUT 89.5 FM. I go by the name of Dynamic, a.k.a. your favorite light skin. You locked in to Bring It A-Game Radio. We do this every single Monday from 10 p.m. until midnight. And tonight, we have a very, very, very special guest in the building. It's a veteran MC, Toronto MC. And I don't even want to call out his name yet because, see, this man's wordplay, he started it at the age of 13. He's been going in for a long time. That's why I said veteran, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these rappers out there, they ain't been rapping as long. When this man was rapping, these rappers was in they Pampers and stuff. You know what I'm saying? These rappers really ain't got nothing on this man. You know what I'm saying? And he's won a lot of rap battles from a young age. He's also done a lot of stuff through Much Music. I remember just watching Much Music back in the days and seeing this man's videos all over the TV. You know, tracks like Dear Hip Hop, a classic. You know what I mean? If you people been following the Canadian rap game for a long time, you know the one I'm talking about. He goes by the name of Daniel, and we have Daniel in the building tonight. Daniel, how you doing tonight, sir?
Yes, sir. What's good? I'm here to celebrate. Raptors just pulled off the win in Game 4, baby.
This is crazy.
I'm going to let all that old man intro stuff slide. I'm playing, man. Much respect. Thank you.
I'm saying though,
thank you for having
real,
me.
a lot of MCs be like, yo, I'm a veteran in this game. They ain't veterans in this game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You've been putting in that work for a long time.
I feel you, man. I mean, it's funny, I started as a kid in elementary school with 2 tape decks. And me and my boy J Trill would put in an instrumental on one tape deck, a blank tape in the other tape deck, press play on one, record on the other. Right. And that's how we would record our albums, air quotes. One take, right? Because there's no track. You're not in the studio. So trust me, it's been a minute since I've been
back in the day
putting it down.
So when you hear that back in the day when I was young, I'm not that's a reminiscent.
Man,
back.
How funny is that now is a back in the day song.
It is, man. It's crazy.
It really feels like 20 years have gone by in the blink of an eye, and at the same time it feels like, man, it's been a long, hard grind.
Right.
But so happy to still be here doing it. As my man DJ Slam plays the immortal instrumental in the background. That's sort of the attitude that I have.
Okay.
To me, being immortal is like, it's literally never saying die.
Right.
But as I said 20 years ago when Dear Hip Hop dropped, I love you till I die. So this hip hop thing is just, it's within me.
Right.
I think it's one of the reasons why people love the joint so much is it means something to them because it's just true. If you love it, people like you and the whole crew, shouts Amanda, DJ Slam, Bring Your A Game. This to me, college radio is real love for hip hop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're talking about because you love it, you do it.
Right.
So that's the vibe of my music. It's how I've always written rhymes, freestyle, battle. Everything you've ever said is because I love it so much.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here, man.
No, I'm glad to have you here. And this is not our first time, kind of congregating to the interview side of things. We had you on a Hold It Down DVD that I shot a couple years back. A classic in Ottawa, you know what I'm saying? Like a classic DVD for that scene, you know what I mean?
Man.
And you blessed us with some knowledge at the time. So, for anybody who wants to get a copy of that DVD, you can holler at us on Bring It A Game.
I want a copy of that DVD.
I gave you one at the big ticket event, but you probably so busy, doing what you do. You might have.
I'm gonna go look for it. I'm gonna go look for it.
But I got more for you though. Don't worry, man. Big thanks, man. So yeah, glad to have you in the studio. You got this 20th anniversary sort of deluxe edition or project that you're working on for the Dear Hip Hop stuff. Can we talk a little bit about that and sort of?
Sure, man. I mean, it's funny, this Dear Hip Hop thing is like the gift and a curse. It's something that I've never been able to shake. Not that I've wanted to shake it per se, but if you know about Daniel, it's most likely that you know that single. It was my first single. Now, there's some times where I feel like, man, I made other records, right? Because everyone's always talking about Dear Hip Hop. And then there's the gift side of it where it's like, well, thank God people still hold on to that track. And they have, the fans have labeled it a classic, and the fans,
it is,
and I appreciate that stuff. So I started working with my man, Nick from Smart Promotions. Big shout out, my man, Nick. And he got at me at the end of last year and said, I want to work with you. In a management capacity, and there's a lot of stuff going on for you that I would like to be part of. And I know Dear Hip Hop's approaching 20 years. I was half and half with it, like, yes, it is, but can I please do something else? And then I was like, okay, it's worth celebrating. If the people want to celebrate it, let's celebrate it. So this November is officially the 20th year since Rap Essentials Volume 1 dropped. It's important to remember that
classic too.
Dear Hip Hop was never an official single.
Right.
It was a song on a compilation. It had a video, so it got rotation on television. Thank God for that. That's how really I got put on.
Right.
We went on tour across the country. So we're really celebrating 20 years of that album. So as part of the Dear Hip Hop, as you mentioned, I'm working on a deluxe edition album. So it's going to contain all the original joints that I recorded in the 90s as part of the project that never really came out, plus brand new joints. And I'm already working on getting a lot of fellow legends, if I can call them myself that, from the Rap Essentials album, and not on the Rap Essentials
You can
album.
call yourself that.
You know, I just appreciate that people will do it for me.
Yeah, no,
See,
I
to
like
me,
that about you though, because
you know,
I remember seeing like a post that you talked about the fact that real legends don't really call themselves legends. You know what I mean? I think at the end of the day, if people are calling you a legend, that's what kind of puts you up there, right?
You know, it's like I said earlier, that's why I'm here, man, because I thank God, you know, for the support from people and the love that's been shown, because in my lyrics, I'll go on and all day how I'm the best.
Yeah, you got it.
MCs are supposed to.
Of course.
But, at the end of the day, man, legends are made by fans, of lovers of the music and the genre of the culture.
Right.
When they say it's a classic, it is. When they say you're a legend, it is.
Right.
If you are the only one calling out your own name, you know,
it's
going to seem like that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and I think a little bit about not just the new school, but I think about, you know, sucker MCs have existed forever, right? That's not a new thing.
Still around.
It's still around, and of course, and to me, that's one of the, I don't know, marks of a sucker MC is that, you know, you're so high up on yourself, but what do you have to show for it? What, you know, has your music backed it up? Have your lyrics backed it up?
Right.
Has the fan base backed it up by saying, yeah, man, that's the dude?
Right.
So to me, you know, I'm very thankful to all the people out there showing their support so I can say these kind of things.
You can say it all the time, and you don't even need to say it. I'll say it for you. We got the legendary Daniel in the building. DJ Sam, you gave DJ Sam a whole slew of music.
Hey, man, listen, big shouts to DJ Slam. We were on tour together in February.
Right.
And we killed about 6 different cities in Southern Ontario. I had a real fun time, man. And I'm definitely looking forward to the new Ultra Magnus DJ Slam album. So he's got all the Daniel stuff. He was my DJ on the tour. So
tell him what to play then. What record you feeling right now that you feel?
Well, he's playing the Immortal track, and I mentioned it. So this is Immortal. It's a title track from my EP. For those who don't know, this is actually available as a free download from UrbNet Records. So you can go right to danio.com, Dan-E-O. Download the whole EP for free. Again, this is the title track, Immortal.
Let's do this. Bring A Game Radio,
Sir.
CIUT 89.5 FM. Some mortal joint for you sucker MCs out there, you know what I mean? Let's do this.
You know right about now you're tuning to the #1 spot for urban music in Canada. Bring your A game with your host, your favorite light skin. Music by my man DJ Slam, and social vibes with Amanda, the social media queen. You know what goes down every Monday at 10 p.m. Eastern time till midnight on CIUT 89.5.
And if you didn't know, now you know.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Because I got Canadian hip-hop artist and actor, award-winning Canadian hip-hop artist, Daniel in the building right now.
Yes, sir. You don't play around on them edit jobs. Good job, man. We just recorded that, man, live on air.
So we do these things up here. You know what I mean? It's a real movement, man. Up here. We got the video footage, too.
Yes,
you know
sir.
I mean? That we're going to be putting up on the YouTube for all the people out there that want to see what's happening in the studio.
Big shout to all y'all, man. I really like what you guys are doing, man. I've been following your website for a long time. I love that you guys got this slot and you're doing it on radio. You got the proper DJ on the ones and twos.
You know
so,
what I mean?
and, respect, man.
And he's a nominated DJ now.
No doubt, man.
He just got nominated for a Cut Hip Hop Award.
Dope, man.
So we got to big up the nominated DJ.
Yeah, join the award-winning club. Took me a long time, man.
That's what I'm saying.
I appreciate you saying that. Last year, Black Canadian Awards gave me the best hip-hop act, and I'm like, dude, it took a minute for me to get my first award, bro.
Yeah. How do you feel about that, though, that you've been in the game so long and not really getting that recognition that you deserve?
You know, it's kind of interesting, man, because a lot of my favorite artists are those artists who don't get the recognition they deserve. You know, I interviewed the Whispers last year.
I saw it.
You know, and they've been in the game 50 plus years, and they have album after album and platinum joints too.
Right.
And they're still touring. You know,
you went to their show recently.
I saw them once in Buffalo last year where I interviewed them.
Follow your Facebook, you know?
Yeah, respect, man. And then I saw them in Toronto in February, and I'm like, they to me are in the category of artists that I aspire to be. If I'm touring 50 years into my career, but some guys have never heard of me, maybe you know me, maybe you don't, I'm okay with that. So to me, the whole you know, there's people who are like, oh, you know, you didn't blow up the way you should have, or you deserve more respect, this and that. I'm like, that's one way of looking at it. You know, I'm not like Drake, rich and famous, but 20 plus years in the game, still getting sort of credit to do what you know, people like yourself, honest to God, man, like Slam will tell you, man, when we're on the road and the people are like showing the love and buying the music and asking for autographs and pictures, I mean, I live for it. Because like I said before, I love it so much. So, you know, I could be mad, but I could also not be doing it at all. And that's a worse
And it's one of those things too, is like, what's success to you? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So some people think success is all the money and the fame. And,
for sure, bro.
You know.
I mean, I was out with my man Parker the other night. Big shouts to him, man. He turned 40, the first Monolith member, right, to turn 40. And Grimace Love was with us, and he was laughing. He's like, yo, you put him on blast on social media talking about how he's 40. I'm like, you can't make your age up. You didn't choose your birthday. And to me, it's like, like you said, that's a celebration. And I'm like, while Biggie and Tupac will forever be heralded as hip-hop kings and royalty, they made it to 25 and 24 respectively, and with all due respect to them, God bless them. I'd rather be me. You know what I'm saying?
No,
so it's a blessing, man. After all these years and all the legend talk, and man, you didn't get on the way you should. Dude, I'm here, man.
When do you hit the 40 club?
I still got a ways. Next year, bro.
No, I feel that though. I'm a little into my 30s, you know, but I feel the bars just keep getting better.
And that's what older, it is, man. I mean? And I don't want to sound corny, but with wine, whatever they say, it gets better with age. It's dude,
it's true though.
I'm like, because I teach this now, right? I'm 10 years into teaching hip hop songwriting workshops in the city of Toronto, and I've brought artist after artist into the studio over the past 10 years, done 30, 40 different projects with youth from all walks of life, younger than me and older than me, actually, just people want to be involved. And I realized, man, like, just the fact that I can teach hip-hop as a culture, but also teach lyricism, everything from bar structure to wordplay to bar counting to, all of the things that are required of you as an artist. Because it takes work. There's a lot of artists who recognize that and move on to do great things. Shout outs to people like Dice Ailes and Conwell and Slick Mason. And if you don't know those names, you will. Former students who are now making it in their own way. And then you have people who just do it for fun. And I realize whether I'm doing it for fun or I'm teaching it and trying to get these guys to be serious, I realize, look, no one can do this like I can. I'm able to help other MCs be better. I mean, I'm just saying. Now I'm going to start bragging. To me, that's the mark of a hot MC. Some people are off with their flow. I bring them on. Some people are off with their rhyme, bring them on. With their bars, so to be able to teach that is something that I think really helps me to, really make the claim that I am who I am.
No, for sure. And I think just because you're getting, older or whatever in the game, doesn't mean that you can't, keep killing it on the tracks. And I think it's good because some people start to get the gray hairs, when they get closer to. I think you got a while before you're going to hit
Thank you, man. That's all it is. I can't do anything about the calendar, but I'm going to keep it non-gray as long as
you good.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. But, see, that's the point, too, right? Like with this old thing, the whole point I was making is that it's an experience thing. To look and feel old is a whole other thing.
But hip hop's getting, it's still growing, you know what I mean? Really at the end of the day. So I think like a lot of, nowadays there's a lot of the veteran MCs or the MCs that are really good at the wordplay are almost in their 40s or going into their 40s anyways.
You know what?
A lot of the ill MCs in the game.
Absolutely. I mean, Eminem, it's a long list. Eminem, Common, our favorites are in their 40s, bro. And the truth is, man, hip hop needs to and deserves to be respected as not just the culture that it is, but the musical genre that it is. Because all of the legends, I saw Stevie Wonder in concert last year. I saw Prince too, may rest in peace. What was Prince? 57. Where's Stevie at? 60s? Did he hit 70 yet? Like, we're talking about legends who are not going to stop touring because they're so-called old. You know what I'm saying? So hip-hop deserves the same thing. DJ Premier's now 50. Dr. Dre's now 50. Ice-T has been 50. That's hip-hop now. KRS-One, I believe, is 50, if I'm not mistaken. So my point is, like, let's start, and I wish, I hope the younger generation starts gaining a greater respect. My biggest problem with this generation, and I'll tell you that I have to shout the whispers because that's a generation above me. When I'm at their concerts, people are looking at me like, how do you know these songs? I'm the young guy. You feel me? I'm the young guy. And I'm looking at it like hip-hop has now gotten into that era. It's like gray-haired legends, call them whatever you want to, you know what I'm saying? That is the hip hop that we grew up on, and they're still as dope as ever. If they tour off of their old albums, we're still gonna love their shows, and they can teach, as I mentioned earlier, the younger generation how to do it right. And I think there needs to be a respect for artists and hip hop in general, that there is no such thing as too old, man. You might look at different eras, different sounds. You might have different tastes about those different eras and different sounds, but one era doesn't belong more than the other belongs.
No, exactly.
There's
and
always
one era sometimes is better than the other anyway.
Based on opinion. And I'm sure we share that opinion.
For sure.
But to have there be any era who looks at the older era and disrespects it simply by virtue of age, that's a problem.
And vice versa, right?
Absolutely. Because honestly, man, like, no other genre, they don't do that for other genres, man. Like, Sade is one of my favorites ever. I've seen her in concert twice. From her first record in the 80s till now, not only does she look the same, sound the same, but no one goes, she's too old to do
I think
this.
it's the competitive side of things in hip-hop that really gets into that part, you know what I mean? Because I think at the end of the day, nowadays, it's one of those things to say, you're too old, you know, you're so old that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you, like mama jokes. You know, but that's always been a part of hip-hop, because the competitive nature is what really got me into hip-hop. I love the battle scene. I love the idea of being able to freestyle. And, you know, I grew up, you mentioned earlier, I grew up entering contests and talent shows and battling anybody who said anything. To me, you know what I'm saying? So,
Speaking
I was
of that,
a kid.
Would you get into the King of the Dot battle stuff? Like,
you know, I would.
Yeah.
Actually, I've been invited. I've also accepted.
Okay.
But I'm going to leave the story there.
All right.
Because,
so it might happen.
You know, we'll see. We'll see. Because, and I'll admit it, and the people who run King of the Dot know this, and so I'm not afraid to say it. At first, I wasn't really vibing the idea of a written battle.
Fair enough.
Having grown up a freestyler, I
from
thought,
that different era.
You know,
for sure.
But then especially having watched it live, but really getting into what is the new culture
it's a whole new art.
King of the Dot. It's like you said earlier, right? Like no era should be dissing the next one.
For sure.
And there is definite skill involved, obviously, in writing bars.
It's a whole different
and
thing,
being able to destroy a next man. And recalling that. We've seen legends fall, like, you know, that Cannabis debacle where, you know, we all loved him, or we loved his records or whatever, but couldn't remember his rhymes, embarrassed himself. So there is a skill involved in writing, having no beat. You understand? Like, before I was like, no beat.
Yeah. What's that?
You know, hours of no music. So there is a way to look at it and go, nah. And then there's that other, like, yo, there's killer MCs in there.
Who's somebody that you would call out, though? Like, if you were to, like, if it was like right now and you had your opportunity to hit the stage, what MC you think you would say, I want that to be my first battle?
Well, I'd say it, but I'm going to leave it alone. And I'll tell you why, because I know, man, I've been on the radio before answering questions. Like, and this is the thing, you know. Listen, here's the truth. I'll answer the question this way, even though it's not the ideal answer that you're looking for. Is I feel like I would love to battle someone who legitimately has dissed me.
Okay,
you feel me? Like,
is there anybody that's dissed you other?
Well, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So they know who they are. And I'm the type of MC who believes that if you don't like me, or any MC for that matter, whatever MC you have a problem with, write bars on them. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Either put it on wax, or do King of the Dot, or however you want to handle it, rhyme about it. Because that's what we've always done. We could talk all day about battle records, you know, who won, blah, blah, blah. They all, and they make some of the most classic hip-hop records ever. So to me, I'd find it probably a little bit more difficult going in on a dude I like, I respect,
so
I think is
cool. You out with some animosity or some tension,
you know, you really have a problem with me, so okay, cool, let's go.
Makes sense.
So, you know, let's just say that. If anybody out there has a problem with me,
you know, call out Danny.
I'm sure there's a lot of you. Feel free. I'm sure the King of the Dot guys would like to hear from you.
And he's got bars for days.
And they know how to find me. So let's, you know, let's go.
We'll set it up. You know, I'll be the middleman in all this. You know what I'm saying? We bring some money in on this. I put my best on Daniel. You know what I mean?
Respect, man.
And he'll kill all your rappers off, man.
I'll tell you this, man. Like, you know, bar writing again for me is it really is an art, and that's why I respect the King of the Dot battle so much because I mean these guys use some of their best stuff for these battles, and of course they go in. I mean, this is homework. They are researching their opponents. I'm sure by now a lot of them know each other, right? But I mean, they go personal too. That's another reason why it's like, yo, I couldn't do this as a joke thing. I remember the first time I watched King of the Dot, I'm like, did he just talk about his brother and his brother has a disability
knock
or
somebody out?
Yo, dude. And I'm a father now and ting, bro. There's certain things guy don't even try those things.
But that's what you're doing when you're stepping in that realm that you're kind of opening up to. Then it's bad sportsmanship if you feel salty about it.
Well, dudes have gotten smacked and ting, bro. You know what I mean? So
hats flying and everything.
Yeah, I mean, to me, certain things belong and certain things don't. If you've decided to enter into a battle where you're gonna catch feelings and want to get violent, you shouldn't be in it to begin with.
But back in the day, battling was like if you ever said something about somebody's mom or any family member at all back in the day, like that was just a thing not to do. I feel back then, you know what I mean? Like you were fighting if you said something about my mom or my pops, you know what I mean?
I agree. Well, to me, the best battlers are always the ones who say stuff that's true.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the biggest reactions are like, that actually was true, that happened, or I saw a dude wearing such and such, like a real thing. Right, we all grew up, like the Monolith dudes, we would battle each other all the time for fun. And we'd rip on each other's moms and stuff because we knew we were joking and we could get away with it as boys.
Yeah.
To me, real battling is calling out the truth and, having a man stand there and have no talk. I mean, back when we watched that 8 Mile movie, that's what ended up winning him the battle at the end. It's like everything he said was true. Yeah. He really had nothing to back it up. Man showing pictures of dudes and like that's all. I love that kind of stuff, man. But
crazy.
So
much to talk to you about, man, and talk with you. Let's get into another joint from Daniel here, man, and then we'll come back with some ads. Keep the show going, and then stick around, man, because we got so much more to talk about.
Sure, man.
So much more music to play, and we only got about another half an hour in the show.
Okay.
Bring Your A Game Radio, CIUT 89.5 FM. DJ Sam, what do you have on the tables? Worldwide Vapors, featuring Maestro.
And
Big Kish. Let's do this, man. CIUT 89.5 FM, y'all. Dopest Canadian hip-hop around.
He's not a DJ. He's your host, your favorite light skin on Bring Your A Game Radio.
I'm not a DJ at all. I do the hosting thing. Danny, do you do the DJ thing ever?
Whenever my agent calls me for an audition and says, "Do you DJ?" I go, "Yeah."
Speaking of that,
not really.
I'm glad you mentioned that. You do the acting thing, man.
Yeah.
What's up with what's the last project you did?
I'll be honest with you, man. It's been a minute. Last year, I did 2 spots for the Toronto Blue Jays, which was a lot of fun because they're my favorite sports team on earth.
Right.
And I actually shot on my birthday as a fan. It was like a Father's Day promotion, which was really cool. But the last major project I did, I've done mostly commercials. Last major project I did was a film called Tapped Out that is out now on like Blu-ray DVD, which is cool because it's the first film I've ever done with a Blu-ray DVD release. And it's cool. It's an MMA sort of action flick. I play an MMA promoter, and it's amazing because it's my second feature-length film. But it's my biggest role, so it's my most screen time and everything. Yeah. And for any UFC heads out there, people like Lyoto Machida, Anderson Silva, Krzysztof Szynski are all in the movie. Krzysztof actually plays the main villain. So yeah, look for Tapped Out. I'm sure you can stream it out there, all you Android box people, and and check that out. And my first film is called Anything Goes, which is also really fun. I play a pizza boy, ends up in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Didn't you do like a commercial for like a pizza pocket?
Yeah, one of my first gigs going back almost more than a decade or so ago.
You had the dreads and everything.
Long dreads, yeah. It was Pizza Pops. And that's when I was only getting rapper roles. My original auditions were all rapper. Before I went to acting classes, especially before I cut my hair and everything, that's all I was doing. Right. DJ, I played a ton of DJs and a ton of rappers. So I played a DJ in like KFC. I've done commercials as a DJ. And in that particular one, I did get to, my first ever commercial was a Radio Shack commercial where I battled Cardinal.
Oh, yes.
Me and Cardi on a basketball court. Yeah, it's YouTube. I'll send you the link.
Yeah.
And then the Pizza Pops commercial, which was one of my biggest paychecks in the entertainment game ever, was was just one of the spots I got. Shouts to Word Burglar and Trix, who was in that with me.
You pocketed some money from the pizza
pocket. I definitely pocketed some dough off of that, man. And
pocketed some dough off the pizza pocket.
There you go.
We need to work together, me and you.
That's it, man. And people clowned. I was like, hey man, I'll take that job over the 9 to 5, and I've done 9 to 5s like crazy, but I'll take that job any day, man. So I still go on auditions and work at that, and that's a craft that I still kind of feel, even though I'm like a decade into it, I'm still paying dues.
What made you get into the acting thing though? Was that before the rapping thing? No, because you started rapping at 13. So
yeah, no, I started rapping at
before
10.
that. You got your first big break was 13.
I got my break at 13 on Electric Circus. I was 10 years old when I first started writing raps. Even before I was 10, I wanted to be Michael Jackson. So this music.
Did you want to be an actor at 10 too?
Sort of, because I grew up, my brother and I, and he's a producer, editor, so we both grew up just being in love with sports and entertainment. Right. I mean, y'all saw me going Raptor crazy before we went to air. Anything sports and entertainment we were into, so we would watch movies, reenact them. Right. Eddie Murphy was my favorite, so I kind of liked the comedy. Schwarzenegger was his favorite, so we'd kill each other after watching Terminator. Like, we'd reenact stuff all the time. Right. He actually got into acting first before he got behind the camera, and I was so heavily involved in rhyming and doing music that when I was in high school, and this is when I recorded Dear Hip Hop in high school, I was invited to be part of the improv team that my brother was on. Championship improv team. They went 1-1. Well, I call it a battle, the competition out in Ottawa. And I was invited to be part of it. And I actually turned it down because I was so busy emceeing. But yeah, I mean, I got drama awards in high school and stuff, but I didn't really take acting seriously until like 2003 or 4 or so, when I just thought, I've always kind of wanted to do it, and all my favorites started doing it. I mentioned Ice-T earlier. He's now known more for his acting than his rhyming. Everyone from Common to Ice Cube to Mos Def, our favorite MCs have done some really dope acting.
It's like the rapping to the acting thing, and then you have some people like Drake, for instance, who was kind of doing the acting first, and then kind of went over to the
I can't speak for everybody. I know Drake is probably in this category of someone who's always sort of done both, but one sort of took off first. Music sort of took off first for me, and I got into acting as a rapper, and that's why all my first roles was rap stuff. But yeah, the more I did it, the more I wanted to do it. And, like I said, taking acting class. Shouts to Maestro Fresh West. We just played Worldwide Vapors, and I have to say, man, to both Maestro and Kish, they are the legends to me. Yeah. When I was a kid starting this, I looked up to them. They were on TV with videos. Right. They were the ones touring. And now they're two of my best friends. Oh. Kish is now in Hollywood doing voice work. And Wes, as you know, acts and has a role in Mr. D, among other things. And it was Wes who told me to start taking acting classes at the first Manifesto. So where are we now? 9 years in the Manifesto or whatever?
For a while now.
So the first one, he told me take acting classes. And when I started taking acting classes, when I started really getting big roles. So I have to shout both of those guys out, because not only did they both make me really want to do the emceeing thing, they really made me want to do the acting as well.
So if you had a choice right now to pick, rapping or acting going forward, what's your choice?
I don't really think there is a choice, man. I was born for music. You know what I'm saying? I told you I wanted to be Michael Jackson before I started emceeing. Dude, this music thing, it's still my number one, to be completely honest. It's still something that I work on diligently, from the performance aspect to the writing aspect. So the beauty about acting is, we talked about the whole age thing in hip-hop earlier, you know what I'm saying? And how some people will stereotype the older you get, the worse you are. Well, that doesn't exist in the world of acting. They need everyone from infants to senior citizens. So truthfully, whenever I go deeper into it, it literally could be at any time. Yeah. I'm starting to get auditions now for the dad. You know what I'm saying? I never got that before.
The fatherhood role.
Stuff like that. So it literally doesn't matter what age you're at. They're going to need someone who looks like you, and hopefully if you have the skill set that they're looking for that role. So the acting to me will always be there, but the music will always be just my number one love. As far as entertainment goes.
How is it being a father now and doing the music side of things too? Is that difficult for you?
Man. I
know, bro.
Dude, like one of the hardest things ever. And I don't even mean that in a bad way, because Melina, I love you so much, baby. I know you're asleep right now.
Shout out to Melina.
Dude, she is, and I know you feel like this, and I'm sure parents everywhere feel like this, man. But as an artist and a first-time father, there's no bigger inspiration for me, not just to do it, but what I'm writing about now, man, is like, it's funny you were talking about battling earlier. I have a record. Slam knows all about it because we performed it on tour, and it drops this September on Surgent Records, the label out in France who put out my Dear Hip Hop vinyl. It's called The Fight, and it has to do with being a father in the midst of, the drama that comes along with it sometimes, and how MCs who, we talking about battling, any MC who has anything to say about me right now, it so means nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, the real battle is like being the best dad in the world. Like, she matters so much that it's a joke. Being dissed, people call it whatever. It's whatever, man. It don't matter anymore. It really has inspired a lot of the new stuff that I'm writing. Dope. And I'm trying to like weave it into the project as opposed to do an entire project about it, because it's hard to rhyme about anything else these days. So she's really inspired me. But like I said, and you know this as well, man, the schedule between being a dad, being an artist, paying the bills. Wow. Yeah. That's when you grow up, man. That's why I'm really hoping. I'm glad there's no grays, bro.
You got some time.
Yeah, I hope I have some more.
So you used to talking about being the best MC on tracks. Now you got to be the best father on tracks.
You know what? It's crazy. We talked about doing the 20th anniversary album, and we are doing that, ladies and gentlemen. And when you listen to the album, the unmastered version is sort of out right now on the DannyO.com and on the Bandcamp, and people know the Dear Hip Hop record. All the songs, literally and you have it now, I sent it to you, every single song with the exception of one is all about hip hop, hip hop, hip hop. Yeah. I'm the best rapper there is. I got a record called Constipated talking about how I didn't drop my ish yet because I'm so mad. I didn't have a record at the time, so I wrote about it. Another record's called Incarceration. Why? Because I feel locked up because I'm not out yet. I haven't dropped a record. Everything is about like being hungry and I'm proud of it, but that's a teenage Danny-O. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And when people want more of the Dear Hip Hop and they wanted it, I'm like, dude, that was a lifetime ago. Right. I've grown. I have so much more to rhyme about now. There's so much more in my life that matters more now, that the music is going to be indicative of a man in his 30s versus his teenage years. Of course. So as proud as I am of Dear Hip Hop and the record that is forthcoming, which is a remastered album, deluxe version, which will contain new tracks in that vein, yes, the new music is very much inspired by my experiences, which there's so much more of them over the past 20 years than I had 20 years ago. Why did I write Dear Hip Hop? I heard that beat. My man Scam produced it, went in the studio with him. I fell in love with the beat. I'm like, this is a beautiful beat, man. This is a love song. But a 17-year-old didn't have no love to talk about yet other than hip hop. So that's where that record comes from. Right. Now, records about my daughter, man, is the realest ish I ever wrote. It's crazy. Yeah, man.
Crazy how time flies. And little did you know when you did that record, it was going to be a Canadian classic like that, man.
I did it, man, and I'm thankful. And I'll tell you a quick funny story is that I did 2 records on the same day. Scam produced actually 3 records from the album that never came out until like 2 years ago and will be out on this new one. Constipated was the other one. Like I said, the whole concept was just wanted to drop my ish. And it's just, the lyrical brag record. And my manager at the time said, the 2 records that you have here for the Rap Essentials album, let's go with Constipated because I like that song more. It's a harder track, da-da-da-da-da. And in talking about it a little bit more, he said, you know what? Let's go with Dear Hip Hop because since Constipated's the stronger record, we'll follow up and show that you keep getting better. That was sort of the idea as to why we went with Dear Hip Hop over Constipated. Right. Imagine that would have happened. I have no idea what would have happened if I would have been known for a song that likened hip-hop to Taking a Dump versus the love letter to hip-hop. It's kind of weird and crazy just how it all turned out.
Hip-hop made sense, man. And it was,
I'm thankful that we went that route.
It was a record for its time, and it's still a classic, man. It's dope. Let's get into Drive. Is that the record, the instrumental you've been playing? Drive, man. I was at a big ticket event.
Yeah.
I believe it was last year. You were shooting a video for this, and you got everybody in the crowd to kind of follow along and do like the
let me tell you, although that never ended up making the final cut of the video, we completely reshot it. Look, the video's hella dope.
I was trying to be all up and animated.
I know. We ended up doing, I got my little car video out of it. And why I really like this joint is because I spent so many years, we just finished talking about how serious I was writing all these records. And I had somebody tell me, Dan, in real life you joke a lot and you're so down to earth and funny and you like to, but you don't really do a lot of that in your music. Have some more fun in your records. And I thought, okay, it's time for me to do the silly record. There's all kind of dances out there from the Superman to the God knows what. I said, let me do a dance record. And this is my version of a dance record that still is hip hop as it gets. and it's just like, you know, a little lyrical brag thing, but that drive thing works at the shows. Ask Slam, man. I cannot do a show without this record. This is a lot of fun, man.
It's
Drive.
a hype record. Let's do this, man. Drive. Bring your A-Game Radio. CIUT 89.5 FM. Yo, if you out there and you ride right now,
no doubt.
Turn up the volume, roll the windows down.
There you go.
Let them know you're listening to CIUT, man. Oh, yeah, that's right. You locked in to bring your A-Game Radio. CIUT 89.5 FM. I go by the name of Dynamic, a.k.a. your favorite light skin. And we have the one and only, the legendary Daniel still in the building with us.
Bruh, where does that leave me? If you're everybody's favorite light skin. I'm saying.
We might have a problem.
Dude, maybe King of the Dot? What do you say?
I'm ready whenever you're ready, man. And I might have to call out Drake, too. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
Kill out all these light-skinned rappers.
All skin jokes the whole time.
Yo, you still doing this big ticket event, the hosting of the big ticket event?
I'm not doing this this coming event. There's been so much on my plate, including, obviously, we've been talking about it, and it's probably an important thing that I mention real quick, that the Dear Hip Hop 20th Anniversary Deluxe Edition album.
Right.
We're scheduling it to come out this November, but it will celebrate the 20th anniversary, which is November. And we're actually doing a crowdfunding initiative as part of it. So wanted everybody to know about dearhiphop.com.
Perfect.
All right. That is the website you can go to. If you are an MC, literally anybody out there who's down, you can download this instrumental that you're listening to right now, record your own Dear Hip Hop verse, send it in. What we're looking for are the hottest verses across the world, not just the country, to include as part of this album. We also looking for any producer out there. You can download the acapella to Dear Hip Hop. We want your remix. So we're looking for, you know, brand new up and comers or literally anybody with skill that this is sort of me trying to help put on whoever with that skill and talent, producers, MCs, to join the album. And for anybody who's a fan out there, everybody who's supported me, shown me love all this time, we'd love your support because both the album and documentary, we're raising money for it. So as you know already, and I want to appreciate you for your support, there's plenty of perks on the album, on the website that you can buy now. Right. So whether you want a digital copy, CD copy, t-shirts, hoodies, VIP laminates to shows, my entire discography, there's a lot of perks that you can get by donating to the album now. So in a sense, you're sort of buying it early. And with the money we raise, we are going to put together this whole project. And it's sort of just all in keeping with the whole Dear Hip Hop thing. If you love it, I mean, I love it. This is why I do it. So if you love it, I would love your support. And you can lend it to me at dearhiphop.com. Like
I said. Dearhiphop.com. People get all your social media links and everything off the dearhiphop.com.
Yeah,
website.
I hope it's up there. Just in case it's not, you can always go to danio.com, spelled dan-e-o.com. And hopefully you follow Bring Your A Game on Twitter because y'all been tweeting like crazy, and my Twitter's right there. Danio10 on Twitter, y'all.
Really quick, we literally got about like 2 minutes left, but I want to know, why do you spell it Danio with Dan-E-O? I've always wanted to know that.
All right, it's going to be the most anticlimactic answer of all time.
Let's do this. 2 minutes.
When I was 12 years old, me and my homeboy Jason Trillis formed a group called Too Weird.
Tell him.
J Trill cut his first and last name in half and made J Trill.
Break it down.
He is still my brethren and barber to this day.
Okay.
Danio took his name Daniel, his middle initial E, and the last letter from his last name and squished them together and made Danio. Just thought it was cool to throw dashes in there. I don't know why, because no one ever spells it right. But that's where it comes from.
There we go. That's what I'm saying, DJ Sam with the proper timing on that. So
there it is.
Bring Your A-Game Radio, CIUT 89.5 FM. Now you know why he spells his name that way.
Yes.
And stop spelling it DANNYO.
Thank you.
However else, what are some other ways you've seen it before?
Okay, they'll spell it like lowercase a-n, like Dan, but capital E-O, no capital.
Don't do that.
Capital D only.
Right.
Yeah, Slams,
he knows.
Yeah, capital D, and then the rest is lowercase, A-N-E-O.
You know why he knows? Because on the Cut Hip Hop Awards website, shout out to Cut Hip Hop Awards, by the way, we're sponsoring the award show. They spelled his name DJ Slim. DJ Slim.
That is funny for so many reasons.
So he feels the pain. Let's get out of here. What are we going to end off with? What record are we ending off with?
I think we're going out on Boss Man, which features somebody I consider a real legend, a man, Chip Fu. And this is my most recent video, too, so go look for it online. Boss Man featuring Chip Fu, Fu Schnickens.
Let's do this. Just search Danio, D-A-N-E-O.
That's it.
If you ain't know.
Respect, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming through, man. Bring Your A-Game Radio. We are out until next Monday, y'all. Every Monday, 10 p.m. until midnight. Play nothing but the best in Canadian hip hop, reggae, and R&B. Daniel, Bossman, what you know about that? Let's go.